The Midlife MS Med Vanishing Act spoiler alert, it's not magic, so, you have multiple sclerosis, and you're in midlife, you've been taking your meds. Then a thought pops in. Maybe I can stop these. It's like that urge to buy a ridiculous sports car. Some neurologists, actual doctors, are even thinking about it. Dr. Aaron Boster, an MS neurologist, says this is a really bad idea. Your MS meds are the bouncer. Stopping them? That's like firing the bouncer. Then posting an all trouble welcome sign. It sounds liberating, doesn't it? For about 5 minutes, then the club gets trashed. Your brain club. Why would anyone suggest this? The reasons are complex, but the potential outcome? Less complex. More ouchy. Before we dive deeper into the complexities of midlife MS, let's take a quick moment to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you're finding this information helpful or interesting, sharing it can help others in the MS community too. Your support helps us bring more content that matters to you. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Let's talk midlife. For this MS study, it's specific. They mean MS patients aged 45 to 64. This age group is interesting. You've likely had MS for a while. You've been on these disease-modifying therapies or DMTs, and you think, am I better? Can I stop? It's a fair question. A question that led to a big study. The study is called Impact and Discontinuing Disease-Modifying Therapies on Healthcare Utilization amongst Midlife Patients with Multiple Sclerosis in the United States. It was published in the Journal of Managed Care and Specialty Pharmacy. Its goal was simple yet profound. To see what happens when these midlife MS warriors stop their meds. Do they ride off into the sunset, healthy and free, or do things get complicated? Spoiler, it's usually option B. Life loves option B. So, how do you study this? You can't just ask people. You need data, big data. The researchers use the Marketplace database. It's a massive US insurance claims database. It covers over 60 million de-identified Americans. Just the cold hard facts of healthcare, what meds were taken or not taken, what doctor visits happened, what emergencies popped up. The data spanned from 2001 to 2018. That's a lot of years. They looked at various DMTs, the old school injectables like interferons and glatiramer acetate, Copaxone. Also some of the oral ones. Why insurance claims, you ask? Because they don't lie. If a hospital visit happened, it was billed. If a prescription was filled, it was logged. It's beautifully, terrifyingly accurate. Section 4. The 90-day itch. When does skipping a dose become playing with fire? It's a question that many patients and healthcare providers grapple with. In this study, discontinuation was simple. It meant not filling a DMT prescription for 90 days, 3 whole months. That's a pretty clear sign you're not just forgetting. You're making a conscious decision to stop. They looked at nearly 150,000 midlife MS patients. This large sample size provides a robust data set, and they watched what happened for 1 year after someone stopped their meds, or for 1 year for those who kept taking them. The results were eye-opening, a straightforward comparison. The quitters versus the stickers. Those who stopped versus those who stayed the course. This is what Dr. Boster calls real-world data. It's not a pristine lab setting where everyone follows instructions perfectly. This is messy, complicated real life. People stop meds for all sorts of reasons: cost, side effects, feeling good, feeling bad. The study doesn't care why, it just looks at the what then, and the what then is quite telling. 90 days is a long time in MS treatment, a mess that shows up in, you guessed it, healthcare bills. The implications of stopping medication can be severe, leading to increased healthcare costs and potential relapses. This study highlights the importance of adherence to prescribed treatments and the real-world consequences of discontinuation. So when does skipping a dose become playing with fire? The answer is clearer than ever. It's when the decision to stop isn't just a one-time lapse but a prolonged period of non-adherence. The 90-day itch is more than just a phase. It's a critical juncture in treatment, a mess that shows up in, you guessed it, healthcare bills. Section 5. The numbers don't lie. They paint a clear and sometimes grim picture. More hospital gowns, fewer good times. It's a stark reality for many. So what did they find? Did everyone who stopped their meds suddenly sprout wings and fly away from MS forever? No, it wasn't that simple. Of these midlife MS patients, 22.8% stopped their DMTs, thinking it might be a good idea. That's nearly 1 in 4. A significant portion indeed. The other 77.2%? They kept on trucking, sticking to their treatment plans. Now for the juicy bits, the numbers. They reveal a lot about the consequences. Those who stopped their DMTs? They had significantly higher healthcare use, more than they might have anticipated. Hospitalizations for any reason at all? Over 10% more frequent for the stoppers. That's a big jump. Emergency department visits? Oh boy, they saw a noticeable increase, approximately 22% more frequent. That's a lot of extra trips to the ER, and this was for any ED visit, MS related or not. The risk was across the board. It seems stopping meds just makes life riskier. The data doesn't lie. Your odds of needing urgent care just shoot up. It's a gamble with high stakes. And what about MS-specific problems? They didn't go away. Hospital admissions for actual MS relapses, 16% more frequent. That's a significant increase. A full-blown shove towards more doctor visits, more treatments, more misery. The cycle continues. Section 6. So, you want to stop your MS meds? It's a big decision, and one that many people with MS consider at some point. Maybe just get a sports car instead. It might sound like a joke, but there's a serious point here. What did the study authors conclude after sifting through all this data, all these increased hospital visits, all these extra emergency room trips? They looked at the numbers, the patterns, and the outcomes. They said, quite politely, that stopping DMTs in midlife MS patients is probably premature. The data was clear and compelling. Dr. Boster, our straight-shooting neurologist, he didn't mince words. He put it more bluntly. He emphasized the risks involved. He said this study shows that stopping DMTs in midlife is a really bad idea. The consequences can be severe. Sometimes you don't need nuance. Sometimes the message needs to be crystal clear. You need a clear, flashing warning sign. Something that grabs your attention and makes you think twice. This is one of those times. This isn't a maybe, it's a don't. A strong, unequivocal don't. Look, the allure of stopping medication is strong. No more side effects, no more costs, no more reminders. But the alternative, the risks, as this very large, very real-world study shows, it's often worse. More hospital stays, more relapses, more interventions. It's a gamble, a very risky gamble, one that could cost you dearly. So if you're in midlife with MS and you're thinking of breaking up with your DMTs, talk to your doctor. Have a thorough discussion about the risks and benefits. And maybe reconsider that sports car instead. It might be a safer midlife crisis purchase.